Hey everybody, welcome back. We are getting ready to start a new limited series, I think is the proper term for it. I had somebody request that I react to Chernobyl. I forget his name. I know the person was male. And I said, it's going to be a while. I got to finish Fear the Walking Dead. So I finished Fear, and now I'm getting discs on Chernobyl. I barely remember Chernobyl. I would have been in junior high. Well, not even junior high. I was either sixth or seventh grade, somewhere in there. The only thing I remember is that there were a bunch of people who died and a bunch of people who had defects from I think it was a nuclear meltdown. I believe even children who were born also had defects as a cause of the meltdown, I think. I don't remember a lot of it. Now, I think this person who requested this just wants to see me cry because it was on the Waco series that they made the comment, and I was crying in that one. So I think they just want to see me cry. Honestly, I would have not have picked this by choice because when I cry, especially when I cry hard, I tend to get migraines. So I try as hard as I can to avoid certain things. We'll see how this goes. I know a lot of people have been reacting to it. I don't know. I haven't seen any interviews or anything like that for Chernobyl. So we'll see how this goes. Plus, I'm using the headset that I hate. Remember, these are the ones that go off on me all the time. Turn off while I'm talking, while the episode is showing, all this kind of stuff. However, I think editing wise, it's easier because of using this mic rather than the laptop mic. We'll see. I just got done having to rewatch a whole episode of 13 Reasons because I couldn't tell where my talk was and where the show was in the editing. So, I hated having to rewatch it. At any rate, let's watch Chernobyl. I'm going to do one episode tonight. I'm really tired. Hopefully, I don't start doing the nodding and blinking. I was doing that with work, so hopefully I don't do it tonight. But I wanted to watch one episode tonight and then hopefully finish it up tomorrow, and then it'll be ready for me to edit. So we'll see. The cats are going to be a little rambunctious because it's actually bedtime, but um, so they may be running around making noise and crying and trying to get me to go to bed. Okay, are we ready? Let's see how this goes. Let's see how much crying happens. And I'll try to remember to also comment quite a bit. The reality ones that are based on reality, are a little bit harder because I feel like I'm so much more in tune to it, but we'll see. It's a very quiet intro. Tape cassette. Look at the tabby. Are they going to shoot him? I was trying to get the mic to work because all of a sudden I noticed it wasn't working. Um, I don't know. At any rate, they're framing it almost seems like the guy in the car is an assassin. Um, the guy with the tapes is acting very secretive, and you know, it seems like the tapes are very important documentation So is the KGB or whoever it is trying to kill him, or are they just watching? He's a cat lover. I don't want the kitties to get hurt either. Oh, he hung himself. So it's just one cat with plenty of food until somebody finds him. Was that the meltdown?
We need to get everyone out!
I would think it'd be a little too late to get everybody out.
I'm gonna get you out of here. Can you stand?
Not looking good at all. How did a bat get in there?
You take some medicine. Yeah, what is that? I don't know. The valve.
Radiation, right? Wow, it just acts fast, doesn't it? Well, and they got the particles all over each other, all over themselves.
Top enough, take him.
But isn't,
He fell.
if those that have been in the control room are not exposed to the
His face.
particles, then they're just contaminating themselves by getting around all the ones who have been exposed.
No, pills. Does the hospital stock iodine pills?
Iodine pills? Why would we have iodine pills?
Do I think they were saying iodine pills counteract the radiation contamination.
Obviously down here it's nothing but in the reactor building, I'm being told. 3.6 Rontgen per hour.
That's not great, but it's not horrifying.
Not at all. From the feed water, I assume.
But they're lacking that little piece of information about how the machine doesn't go any higher than 3.6. Is that particles now getting on them? Yep. And this is why you never downplay crap. You just be straightforward with the facts and let folks know what they need to do. Has the gas, the radiation now liquefied? Or the hoses from the firemen?
A large control tank malfunction damaging reactor building 4 and starting a fire. Now, I have spoken directly to Deputy Secretary Marion. Marion spoke to Deputy Chief Frolishev. Frolishev to Central Committee member Dolgeek.
The telephone game.
The state tells us it wants to prevent a panic. Listen well.
We know how that works out.
Matters of the state to the state. We seal off the city.
Sounds somewhat similar.
No one leaves. And cut the phone lines. Contain the spread of misinformation. That is how we keep the people from undermining the fruits of their own labor. Yes, comrades.
It's men like that you just want to slap.
From the military fire department. It only goes to 200 Rontgen, but it's better than the small ones.
Then?
It maxed out. 200 Rontgen.
It's a lot different than 3.6.
Graphite on the ground in the rubble.
You didn't see graphite.
I did.
You didn't.
Is that what the one fireman picked up?
Vent block roof from there, you can look right down into reactor building 4. I'll see it with my own eyes.
I was going to ask if he was going to start vomiting.
I apologize.
Guys! Guys! Get him to the medic or the hospital, whatever he needs.
Now they're contaminated. So you going to pass out? Oh, we're back at the maternity ward. Well, I guess it wasn't a maternity ward. Back at the hospital. The kitty. So now we're getting his part in all of this.
Yes, I've studied it.
Don't you hate it when people won't listen? Oh. Poor bird. Sounds like a Geiger counter. I forget what they were calling it. Okay. I think I can talk and you guys aren't hearing the ending credits. So the biggest thing that I got out of this is how similar it is to how the US is handling COVID right now. The not wanting to panic everybody, the forgetting to not even quantify, but use all of the information, such as it read 3.6, but that's all the higher that meter would go. She's mad at me, so she's scratching on her cardboard. Not wanting everybody to panic, and so you don't give them the information that they need, and therefore all this information that would actually be beneficial for the public to hear is not being said. And I don't see why people don't get that when you at least be honest about what's going on and give advice on how to handle stuff, people would actually manage it better than when they find out you've been lying to them and could protect themselves better. Like they should have evacuated the town. They should have communicated that that meter didn't go higher than 3.6. So if the contamination was higher, it wasn't going to read it. And when they used the other meter, it read 200, and then that's all the higher it would go. So who knows how high the radiation levels were. And I would say they were extremely high since people were being affected right away. I'm trying to remember everything. I don't remember any names except for Victor, who is dead. Or if he's not dead, he's going to be soon. And so I don't remember any names. The wife, I imagine, is going to have a big reaction when she finds out from her husband or boyfriend that it's radiation leaking and that they're all in trouble. I'm imagining that's how part of the leak is going to start happening is the firemen are going to report what they've been seeing and not know whether they can go to their loved ones or not. Radiation, if you touch somebody who is covered in the particles are going to get on you. And if the concentration is high level concentration like they're indicating, then you're going to get a high level on you. I don't know why my recording is jumpy. Sorry, I've noticed the screen flicking. I don't know why. They want people to go about their business and keep doing what they're doing because they think that will keep folks from panicking. But then when they find out the truth, all hell's going to break loose. That's probably the biggest thing I can think of from getting from that first episode. I know it was doing a lot of build up, trying to give information and that sort of thing. A comment on, not on Chernobyl, the incident, but on the directing of this. One of the things I kept thinking while watching this is, why don't we have any Russian accents? I didn't hear any. They sounded more English. I know Stellan Skarsgård is in it, and he's from Austria, I think, or Sweden. I can't remember. But I understand why everybody was speaking in English because that's the best way to market to a larger population. They could have done it in Russian and had subtitles, but that's not as appealing to folks, especially in the US. I know other countries are more welcoming to movies with subtitles or dubbing or whatever. The US isn't as forgiving about that. And I've talked about this before on Fear, but I'll let you guys know here in case you did not watch that. I don't like subtitles just because I can't read them fast enough usually. The only movies I've been able to tolerate subtitles with are Clan of the Cave Bear, Windwalker, and that French film that Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston recently remade. I remember it had subtitles in the beginning, but then the rest of the movie it was all English, or mostly in English. So those were slow enough that I could read them, that sort of thing. But most of the time, like this, if they had subtitled it, I wouldn't have been able to keep up. And so then I just wouldn't have watched it. So I understand why they're speaking in English. I just don't understand why we have a lot of English accents and not a lot of Russian accents. And maybe there are some Russian accents in there and I'm just not hearing it correctly. I don't know. But that was something that took me out of the episode. To wrap it up, what can you say? It's only going to get worse. And since they're showing the pregnant women, I think it's backing up what I was talking about with defects happening with births, but I'm not positive on that. I could be totally wrong on that. So it's only going to get worse. Thank you for joining me on this one. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.